Hello everyone. I welcome to the live stream. I hope I'm audible. Okay, let's see who is in the live stream. Okay, hi everyone. Can you confirm that I'm audible? Let's wait for a few minutes. Hi guys. Oh, hi Kunal. How are you? Okay, so for those people who are new here, okay, I'm Swayam and you're on the Just Coding channel where currently we are doing the full stack web development bootcamp, which is for absolutely free. So if you want to register for the bootcamp, there is the link given in the description. Okay, you can open the form and fill it. And from the next class, you will be getting your certificate and all the things for every live lecture you attend. Okay, so let's wait for a few minutes and then we'll start. Hi Kunal, hi Diksha, hi Divya Jyoti. Let's wait. Mhm. Okay, we have 7 people live. Guys, say hi in the chat. If you haven't liked the video yet, please like the video, like the live stream. That will help us reach more people. And you can comment as well. It will increase the reach and more people can. Uh, Your from Ajinkya, I'm currently checking the responses that I got. Give me a second. Diksha, you have registered too many times. Only once registration is fine. So let me share your roll numbers, guys. Okay, I'm sharing a link where you can check your roll numbers right now. Okay, these are your new roll numbers. Check these roll numbers, please. Okay, and get back faster. Okay, so I guess everyone has seen the roll numbers. Let me check. So there is another response right now. Let's see who is it. Okay, Samarth. Great. Okay, we'll be starting soon. Check out the roll numbers and get back faster. Okay, based on this roll numbers, you will be taking your attendance. Okay, now I just see 8 people are here. Okay, in 4 minutes we'll start taking the attendance. And if you guys miss the first attendance, it's less likely that you will be getting any certificate from our side. Okay, I see currently 10 people are watching us. Guys, we'll display all the forms once it's online. Okay, Ajinkya will do that soon. Now, yeah, I see 8 people are currently watching. Guys, please like the video. Okay, and we are starting right now. So in the last class, we saw this thing. Let me open it. Okay, so in the last class, as you can see, we were doing the basics of HTML. Let me check the chat as well. Okay, guys, share your roll numbers in the chat, and we'll take your attendance right now. Okay, start sharing your roll numbers. This will be your first attendance. Okay, in the chat, share your roll numbers fast. Okay, now the thing is, in the last class we studied about the base like intermediate HTML. We made this iframe and we did this form as well. And most of you guys have submitted the form. Yes, Ajinkya, I got your form you were speaking about, and you have made it like really great. Atharva has submitted as well. Prachi has submitted, and Diksha, even you have submitted the form. Okay, Shravan, you as well, and Dibyajyoti, I forgot, but I guess you even have shared the form. So those who have shared have gotten the marks respectively. So most of you guys have got 5 marks and like a 5 out of 5. And in the in this month we'll have the hackathon. Those marks will be added to the hackathon points that you'll be getting. So here indirectly you are like increasing your chances of winning. Yeah, that's it. So let me see. Can you guys confirm that my VS Code is visible to you? Is my VS Code visible? Mhm. Okay, I guess it's visible now. So what we'll be doing is, for now, this was about the HTML we did. I will be uploading this code and I will be sharing you the link of the code so that you can refer to it later. Okay, now let's create a new folder. To create a new folder in VS Code, you have to click on this folder icon in between, and you can type the name as let me just type CSS. Okay, and since this is the first part, so I will just type basics .css. Okay, .css is basically an extension which will tell your browser that you're like currently launching the CSS file, so it will read it as CSS. In the same way, .html is an extension, okay, which will tell your browser that this is a web page or this is an HTML file, and it will read as an HTML file. So now in CSS, yeah, we have created this basics.css, but before going to the basics, I would like to show you some things. So okay, now what we'll be doing is we'll create first an HTML file. Okay, let's call this as index.html. Yeah, and now let's have the boilerplate. Oh, sorry, boiler code. Okay, and what we'll be doing is we'll open this with live server. Now let me open you the output. Okay, let me bring the output here on the right hand side. Okay, now take a look, guys. Here, this is a blank output. What we'll be doing, in the last class we made a form, right? So let's have the form here. Let's take the form out, and what we'll be doing is I will be just pasting it here into our current HTML file. Okay, now let's see how the output is looking. See, we have the first name, we have the last name, and we have all of that stuff here. Now what we'll be doing, we'll start by styling this form. Okay, and I will teach you how we'll style it using CSS. Now there are two ways. Okay, so CSS is like a really awesome way of designing your web page. It's awesome and only way of designing your web page, and CSS allows you to customize your web page according to the looks, according to your designs. Yeah, so based on that you can create your own styles and stuff. So now we currently have a form. Okay, in the form, as you can see, we have a label. Okay, this label basically states that we need to enter first name, then we have another label for the last name and an input field. Now what we have is we have a password, so something different, and we have a input button and a reset button as well. So a submit button and a reset button as well. Now what this reset button does, in the last class if you have missed, this reset button we'll just reset everything that we have typed here. So if we click, it will go, like it will go away, it will vanish. Now that was about the reset button. Now, when we are working with CSS, there are two ways in which we can write our CSS. First is we can embed the CSS into our single HTML file. Now to do that, there is something known as style tag in HTML. So let's see how the style tag works. Okay, using style tag is pretty simple. Okay, just type style and give the brackets, and you are good to go to write your CSS. But in industry, we don't prefer writing this type of code because you will be writing everything into a single file. And in case you want to change, suppose something into a website, now what's going to happen is you have created a big website and you want to change something there. Now you will have to go through thousands of lines of code, that too in a single file. You'll have to navigate through each and every line of code, and you'll need to see which line does what thing, right? So to avoid this situation, what we basically do, we divide our project into its separate smaller files. Okay, so it's easy to maintain and it's easy to make some changes. Okay, for example, let's say Shravan tells me to make a website. Okay, he wants to make a website which works like YouTube, okay, which works like Netflix, where we can watch some video. And now what Shravan wants is it needs to look like exactly like a Netflix website. It should function like a Netflix website, and it should have the password and everything. So what I did, I just created the website. I made the whole thing. Okay, this is just an example. I made the whole thing, and now Shravan is telling me that copying Netflix isn't a good idea. He wants to make something custom. So now what I will have to do is I will have to go through each and every line of code and I will have to change it. Okay, wherever the changes are necessary. But instead, what if I had done something like, let's say, I had a navbar into a different file, I had my dev section into a different file, or let's say I have my styles in a different file and my HTML in some different file. That would have made my work easier. So since Shravan is my client and he's continuously sending me the requirements, I can even cope up with him, right? So that's why we don't write our code into a single file. Okay, we try to create multiple different files for each specific thing. So now currently here we can use a style tag. Okay, inside the style tag, let's see a few commands. Okay, for now let's open a Word file. Okay, now let me open a Word document. Let's create a blank document. Now for example, I am writing here, hey, do subscribe to the Just Code It channel. Okay, now what we'll be doing, take a look here. This currently looks a bit smaller. Let's do this thing. So what we'll be doing is we'll increase the font size. So let's make it 12. Okay, let's make it 16. Yeah. And now the requirement is that only this just coded should be a bit bigger and rest of the things must be smaller. So let's make it bold. Okay, so it's kind of unique, and let's make it 18. Now this is just a normal document, remember. Okay, and this is here. And what we'll be doing is let's have some highlighting. So let's highlight it with yellowish color, or let's say reddish color. Okay, let's highlight this thing by reddish color. Okay. Now to do this thing, what we did was first wrote an like normal tag. Okay, or let's say we wrote some text here, and what we did was increase the font size. Then we changed the background color, right? We changed the background of this. In short, we highlighted and made this a bit bolder. Okay, to do the same thing in CSS, we have to do something like this. Okay, for example, for now I'm gonna comment out this form. So to comment out, am I on now? Yeah. So to comment out, there are two things we can do. Okay, select everything and hit Control plus / and it will comment it out. Okay, and after this, what we'll be doing is here. What we'll be doing is we'll have, let's say, H1 or let's say H3, and inside this H3 we'll have some text. So let's have the same text which says, hey, subscribe to the channel. Okay, now pay attention here guys, I haven't done anything here. Now what I will be doing is I will be selecting this H3. Okay, so to select this H3, I'm just going to take H3 and I'm gonna do this thing. Okay, a H3 and a curly bracket which is gonna select this thing, this whole thing. Okay, now after this what we need to do is we need to increase the font size, right? So we increase the font size to 16, right? 16 pixels. So let's do that, 16 pixels. So for most of you guys who don't know what this pixel is, so pixel is just a unit. Okay, our screen, the screen you're viewing is made up of pixels, right? So we are just telling our browser or telling our, let's say, CSS, that I want my font to cover 16 pixels. So depending on your screen size, it will just cover 16 pixels. Now after that, after doing the 16 pixels, first let's see how this thing looks like. Okay, see it says, hey, subscribe to the Just Coded channel. Let's start at 10 pixels as well to show to make sure it's working. See, it has gotten smaller. Now what we'll be doing is, let's make it 16 and let's see the output again. So this is the 16th one. Yeah, now the thing was, we gave it a background color, or let's say we gave it an highlighting. So let's give it a background color. To have the highlighting, we need to give it a background color, and it was red. So red. Okay, now let's check. It has gotten red. Now the requirement was to make this just coded a bit bigger. Okay, to do that, to select this just coded, what I can do is I can add a tag here. Okay, into my HTML I can have a span tag. Okay, so the span tag, basically what it will do, it will span through the whole text. Yeah, so I will just Control X and paste it here. Okay, so now this span tag will span through the whole text and work on it. So if I select the span, that means I am selecting this text. Okay, and I'm just gonna increase it. So let's do span, and what we can do is we can say font size. To increase it, let's make it 30 pixels to see the difference. Okay, see the font size of Just Coded has been increased. Right, now let's say you don't like the black color. To change the text color, you can do is color. Okay, and you can say white. This is gonna work, and you can see the text has gotten white here. Now since the 30 pixel doesn't make sense, let's make it 20. Yeah, I think 20 will look good. Okay, and let's make it a little less bolder. So as you can see here on the left hand side, you have this thing. Okay, it is as similar to the Just Coded thing. So what we'll be doing is, let's reduce the font weight of this. Okay, so the thickness of this. To do that, to reduce the thickness, we can say font weight. Okay, and this font weight basically will make your font smaller, larger, depending on how you do it. So there are multiple options. You can say 100, 200, 300, 400. Since we want a lighter version, we'll say 100. Okay, let's see how this 100 looks like. See, the font has become a bit lighter. Now let's make it, let's say 700. Okay, and there are different options as well. See, the font has gotten bigger again. There are other options like, this is bold, then bolder, then lighter, then normal. Okay, and all of the options. You can try it by yourself. For now, I'm just gonna keep it at 200 pixels, 200. Okay, so the width is 200. The thickness of my text is of 200. Now this was about styling your one single thing. Okay, this was about just making this thing work. So in the same way, see, let me not save this. Now in the Word, what we did was, we took a text, we converted it into something. Okay, we like designed it a bit, and we just transformed it into a CSS. Okay, so what we are doing is we are just doing, okay, for example, there is a design. What we are doing is, what we want to do is like what we want to type in there. So for example, I need to increase the font size, so I'm gonna type font size. I want to change the background color, I need to type background color. For example, I need to change the text of the color, color of the text, I'm gonna type color. Okay, if I want to change the thickness, I'm gonna type font weight. Okay, that's it. So in CSS, it's like what you wanna do is just you want to type in that. So now let's get back and design this form. So I'm gonna comment this out, and I'm gonna comment this out as well. Okay, now here comes some important part. See, currently I did is something like h3. Okay, so I did something like this. Okay, I did something like this. For example, I can just copy this. Okay, copy this, and I can paste it here. I'm gonna remove the span tab. Okay, and I'm gonna say some different text here. Let's say video. Now what's gonna happen is, take a look here. See, it currently says hey, like the video, and this both are looking exactly the same. So guys, can anyone guess the reason why they are looking exactly the same? Since we have different we have different text, but those are looking exactly the same. Can anyone guess? Can anyone guess? You can type in the chat box as well. hmm Let's see. Right, Prachi, right, Ajinkya. It's because of the H3 tag. So now you may ask that this is an H3 tag, and everything that you'll be typing into an H3 tag, H3 tag, it will have a red color, background of red color. So now what to do here? Then here comes the classes and IDs. So if you guys remember, in the first lecture as well, I told you about classes and IDs, and in the last lecture as well, I told about classes and IDs. Now what this classes and IDs do is they basically help us select the HTML, okay, using a class. Okay, you can even select it using IDs, but when you want to let's say if there's something unique on your web page, that can be put using an ID, or that can be selected using an ID. But if there is nothing let's say unique on your web page, try using classes. Okay, so for here what I can do is I can say class. Okay, and let's give this class a meaningful name of subscribe. Okay, so if anyone is reading this, so we will at least understand that what this text is gonna do. So currently it says subscribe, so I'm just gonna make it. And to select a class, or let's say to select an HTML using the in CSS, so you need to select the class using dot, and you need to say subscribe. So there is a dot and subscribe. Okay, subscribe. Guys, this is the second round of attendance. Share your roll numbers into the chat. This is the second round of attendance. Okay, subscribe. And today we will have more rounds of attendance to make sure that you guys are still in the like live and you're watching. So this was about the what was that? Yeah, we selected the class, and now let's see how this looks like. Okay, subscribe. This S is a bit capital. Okay, sorry, the typo from my side. Now let's check. SUB. Okay, my mistake. SUB. SCRIBE. Let's see. Now check. The class is same. The class is same, and only the output is applied to the class. Okay, that is related here. Now that was about classes. In similar way, you can do something like ID as well. Okay, and it will work. Okay, and to select an ID, you need to do hash. So let's go here and check. See, you have the hash here. So using the hash, you are selecting the ID, and here once you have selected, only for the content that you have selected, the font sizes and the background color will be applied. Okay, guys, I see most of you haven't given the attendance yet. Please give it, or else it will be difficult for us to release out the certificates. And the certificates are gonna take some time, since we are doing live every week. It's kind of hard for us to send every week the certificates, so we are doing like every month. At the end of every month, you will be getting the certificates. So at the end of like October, you will be getting the certificates of October, all the events that you attended in the October. Okay, now after this, Okay, I just see four people, five people have given their attendance. Okay, make sure that you are attending, make sure you are giving the attendance as well. Now let's go back to styling the forms. Okay, let's see. Currently this is our form here. What we'll be doing is we'll have some background color here and we'll make it look a bit good. So let's do it. So to select the form, see, I can just say form, or I can say a class, and I can ask for, let's say I can call it form, form dash demo or something. Okay, after this form dash demo, now I'm gonna select it using dot form dash demo. Okay, and let's give it a background color of purple. Or maybe, let's see, yeah, this one, and check. See, we have gotten the color. Now after this, just a second guys, I'm gonna make a moderator here. Okay, now after this, see, we have given the background color. Now let's style this first name and make it in a single line. So to do this, you can either do something like PR, okay, and what will happen is this will go into a next line, or else in CSS there is a property where you can say, let's say I'm gonna select this label, so I will give it a class. Again, I'm just gonna say block. So this basically says that this is a label block, or I can say label dash block, since I can't like recall any better name, so I'm gonna just say label block, label dash block. Okay, now what I will do is I'll just copy this. Okay, and once I do this label dash block, and I need to say display, okay, block. Now what's gonna happen? Take a look here. See, it's the same output here. I don't have any BRs. Now what I can do, I can just copy this class here and paste it on the all the labels that I have. So this is another label, so I'm gonna paste it here. This is another label, I'm gonna paste it here. And let's say okay, there's no other label here. Now see, we have this. I'm gonna remove this BR as well. We will be styling it using CSS only. Okay. So now take a look guys. In this short form, we have the first name, last name and everything on a single line. So do you have any doubt till here? Okay, from like after this, the next section is gonna be important. So if you have any doubts, please let me know in the chat. So now moving forward, okay, let's align this thing in the center. Okay, before aligning this thing to center, we must know the concept of margin and padding. Okay, there is something known as margin and padding in CSS. So a margin basically means the space outside of this border. Okay, so space outside of this purple background is known as margin. And padding means the space inside of this purple background. So this purple background can have a padding which can increase its width and height. Okay, depending on what you do. So let's take an example. Okay, again now I'll be commenting out this form. Okay, and I will be telling you how we do this. So let's have a div. Okay, and if you guys remember, I told you that there is an ES6 shortcut for this. You can do dot and you can just have a class name of, let's say, block, or let's say square, anything. Okay, and the square will have a text of height. Yeah, and let's select the square using dot square. And what we'll be doing here is we'll be giving it an height. Okay, so in CSS we can give the height as well. So height of 100 pixels. We like we saw this in the last class as well, and width of 100 pixels. And we will give it a background color of, let's say, aqua. Now let's take a look how this is. See, we have our block. Okay, and here we have written the height. Now let me show you what I mean by margin. To replicate this, I'm gonna just copy it and I'm gonna paste it here. Let's make it square one. Okay, I have created another div and with this different class so that we can differentiate between those things. So let's make it square one. Okay, and let's make it gray. Yeah, now check. So I have two boxes, one is red and one is blue. Now what I will be doing to demonstrate you what a margin is, let me do margin top, or let's say margin bottom since it's in bottom. So we have margin top, margin right, margin left, and margin bottom. So let's first start with margin top, and let's do 400 pixels so you guys can notice the difference. Now take a look. We have a margin of 400 pixels, margin top of 400 pixels. Now if I just change this margin to a padding, now take a look at how it is gonna look. Now we have a padding of 400 pixels. Okay, so padding top of 400 pixels. Are you getting it? So margin is basically the outside space and padding is basically the inside space. So whenever you say padding top of 400 pixels, the block is gonna extend till 400 pixels. Okay, and when you say margin of 400 pixels, the block is gonna move down 400 pixels. Okay, that's about margin and padding. So we even have like margin top, we even have margin left, padding left. So let's do padding left right now to have more idea. So we have padding left of 400 pixels. Now let's try out margin left of 400 pixels. Okay, and so on, we can go so on. Okay, so 400 pixels from the left, even you can do on the right, and that's perfectly fine. So that was about margin and padding. So for now I'm gonna give a margin, let's say bottom of 100 pixels to have some space, and padding, let's do padding right of 300 pixels. Okay, just random numbers. So we have 100 pixels of margin and 100 pixels of padding in the right. So 100 pixels of margin in the bottom and 100 pixels of padding in the right. So after this, what we are gonna do is, after margin padding, now here comes our form. So let's remove this again. Let me comment out. And now what we'll be doing is, yeah, getting back to our form. So we have our form here. Now to make this form into in center, let's have something known as text align. So what it will do, it will align your text into center. Let me comment this out as well. Okay, so now let's do dot, and it is form demo, right? So we already have the form demo. So we'll do here text align center. So text align center. Now let's check how it's looking. So everything is in center as we wanted. Now take a look, guys. This background color has gone till the very end of it. So very end of the let's say form. What we want is to make it a bit smaller. So what we'll be doing is we're having a width. So let's say width of 500 pixels. Okay, this is just a random number. Okay, so now we have the width of 500 pixels, and now let's take this form into center. To do that, we need to do something like margin. Okay, and now now look here carefully. You can do margin top 0. Okay, margin bottom 0, margin left. Okay, margin left should be auto, and margin right should be auto as well. Okay, now let's see if this is working. See, we have this in the center. Now what's happening here when we do it is, on the left hand side and from the right hand side, the margins will be equally spaced. Okay, so that's why you have your thing into center. Now here we can do one more thing as well. Okay, pay attention. Here we can do one more thing as well. There is a shortcut. Instead of typing 4 lines of code in CSS, there is a shortcut where you can just type margin. Where you can just type margin, and the first parameter will be height and like top and bottom. So it will be 0, and the next parameter will be left and right. So it will be auto, and this one line is gonna be equal to this 4 lines that we type. Okay, this 4 lines that we type. Now let's do it, and let's check the output. So we have done the auto and we still have the same output. Now here what we can also do is we can remove this text align. Okay, I'm gonna comment this out, text align, right now, and check. See, we have the our form on the extreme left of our page. So let's have some padding. Okay, let's have some padding left. So let's give it padding left of, let's say, 100 pixels. See, now it's not in that much of left, and let's reduce the width so it looks a bit better. So let's make the width of 300. Okay, now it's looking quite familiar, like for a normal form. Now we want some space at the top and at the bottom as well. So guys, before that, take a look here. See, there is some space here, right? There is some white space here in the screen. Okay, and there is some from this left side as well, and some from right side as well. Now what's happening is, by default your browser inserts some padding and margin. By default your browser will insert some padding and margin to your website. To remove that, to reset it, just a second. Okay, to reset it, what we'll have to do is we'll have to go here at the top of your style, and we'll have to select an asterisk. Okay, so asterisk, this multiplication symbol for most of you guys, this is known as asterisk, and we need to say margin 0. Okay, it's margin 0, and it's padding to be 0 as well. Okay, now once we have done this, take a look. There is no more like white space in between here. Okay, it's pure our form. Okay, like everything will be customized by us, and the browser styles have been reset, okay, by this thing. So basically this asterisk means that we are resetting our form. Okay, are resetting our padding and margin as well. Okay, now there will be the third round of attendance. Guys, share your roll number in the chat. Share your roll numbers in the chat faster. Now we have this form. So let's have some top space from the above. Okay, let's have some space from the above. To do that, what I can do is I can just say padding top of 100 pixels. I guess 100 will look good. Okay, 100 is too much. Let's make it 50 pixels. Okay, and what we'll be doing is we'll be taking the form a bit down. So to do that, we'll have to say margin top, and you can give, let's say, 200 pixels. So now the 200 pixels form has come a bit down. What I will do is I will remove the padding. There's a lot of padding here. So 10 pixels. Okay, now this is looking good. And let's have padding bottom as well. So let's do padding bottom of 10 pixels. Now take a look here, guys, and pay attention. Now what I'm gonna see. See, if we have padding top, we have padding bottom. But you know, there is a shortcut. Since we have the margin 0 and margin auto, in the same way we can type padding, and we can just say auto. Oh sorry, we can just say 10 pixels. So first is top and bottom will be 10 pixels, and left and right is 0. Okay, so let's make it 0, and now check. Okay, now what has happened is it has overwritten our this time. It has overwritten this padding left that we actually did. Now to avoid this, there is another shortcut, but currently we won't go in that deeper. Okay, to avoid this, there is a shortcut where you can specifically define the top, the bottom, the left, and the right. To do that, what you have to do, now take a look here. So this is the first argument we'll be passing is top. So top is 10 pixels. Then there will be right. Okay, so I want right to be 0. Then there is left. Then there is bottom. So bottom should be 10 pixels, and then there is left. So that should be 100 pixels. Now hopefully I have made the settings right. Now let's see how this is gonna look like. See, we have the normal form. Now this shortcut, basically, let me just type in here what each and everything represents, so you can have them in the notes. Okay, so ending here. So first thing is the top, then this next thing is the right, top right, then the next thing, okay, top right, and the next thing it represents bottom and it's left. Okay, so it's padding top, padding right, padding bottom, and padding left. This is a simple shortcut that you can use. Now after this, let's have some space in between this thing. So let's have some space between the label and between the input field. To do that, we'll again be using margin. Okay, but we'll be using this margin into the label block. So we will be saying margin bottom of, let's call it 5 pixels. So let's do 5 pixels and let's see. Now we have some space, but even we are required to have some space from the top as well. So let's do it as margin, and let's margin, not here but here. Let's do margin top as well of 5 pixels. Now this is what is going to, okay, now take a look. This is gonna give some space between the label and the top of the input field, and as well as the bottom of the input field. Plus, let's have some padding, or let's have some space between this reset and submit button or vertically. So to do that, again we'll go to our HTML. Okay, again we'll be selecting this input field, or let's say reset button, using a class, and we'll call it as button or BTN for short. Okay, well, I'm giving some meaningful names so that we don't get confused. Now we have the BTN. Let's do BTN dot BTN, and what I'll be doing is I'll be having margin top of let's say 5 pixels. Let's take a look of how it's looking. Let me see the chat first if anyone has any doubt. Okay, now, okay, if you guys have any doubt, please type in the chat. Okay, for now I see there is no currently doubt, anyone is having any doubt, so we'll move forward. So for now, we have this submit button, we have this reset button, and it's working perfectly fine even though we have added the styles. Okay, that's the beauty of HTML and CSS. Now what we'll be doing is let's give this button some styling. Okay, to style these buttons, okay, separately, we can have, it's not that we can only give one class to one HTML tag. We can give multiple classes to one HTML tag. So to reset button, I can just say reset, okay, a class of reset. To use another class, you just need to say btn space reset, okay, or anything space reset, which means that you are giving two classes. Now let's make it submit. Okay, and guys, just give me a second. Okay, hi, sorry, there was some network issue. Now I'm back. Okay, now let's style this reset button. Okay, but first of all, before styling them individually, let's have some common styles between the button. So what I'm saying, that every button should be a bit bigger one. So for that, I will be using a padding. Okay, and where I will say padding top and bottom should be of 5 pixels, and left and right should be of 15 pixels. Now let's take a look of how this form is looking. So we have some bigger buttons. This is more bigger than I expected. So what I can do is I can just say padding left and right of 10 pixels. So 10 pixels, okay, this looks good. Now what I will give is I will say background color of I guess this yellowish color is gonna suit. Okay. And guys, can you see now there is a border? Okay, there is a border here. To remove this border, you just need to say there is a property in CSS. Okay, you need to say border of 0. So now this border is gonna get removed, and you will be getting a plain button here. After this, since you have the buttons, see if you want to there are some sharp edges here. It's like boxy thing. To make it a bit circular, you can say there is a let's say property in CSS known as border radius. Okay, border radius, and if I do, let's say 50 pixels, take a look of how the screen is gonna look. So it's kind of an ovalish shape. Now if I say border radius of 5 pixels, it will be kind of in the ovalish shape but a bit rounded off, okay, a bit polished. But for now, in this case, I'm gonna just say 2 pixels. I don't want much of the roundings to my button, that's fine. So this is looking good. Now you must have seen that whenever you hover on button, okay, whenever you take your mouse there, the color of the button changes. To do that, there is in CSS there is something known as a pseudo selector. What this pseudo selector basically means that whenever a user performs some actions, okay, whenever a user performs some action, this and this elements get activated, all the style that element has will be applied. For example, here we have the button, right? So I can say dot btn, and to have a pseudo selector, currently we have a pseudo selector name as hover. So I'm just gonna say hover, okay, and in this hover, whenever I hover on the button, I want the background color to be changed. So I'm just gonna say background color, and I'm just gonna make it a bit darker. I can say, let's make it dark blue. Okay, now let's take a look. See, whenever I hover on the button, the pseudo selector gets activated and the color turns to dark blue. Same for this thing. Now let's even change the font color, okay, color of our text. So let's say color and let's give white. Now see, this is black and this is yellow, the background is yellow. Whenever I hover, it's gonna be blue and the color is gonna be white. Here as well, the color is gonna be blue and the text is gonna be white. So if I click on submit, all the things are working. Okay, now after this, now this was about making a simple form. Now here's an assignment for you guys. Listen to this carefully. This assignment is gonna contain 10 marks. Okay, 10 marks, 10. So I'm gonna open a website right now. Let me see. Okay, I'm searching. Yep, I got it. Let's open this URL. So this is the URL of the website that I created a long time back. So if I click on the sign up thing, okay, let's take a look at how these buttons are working. So there's a home button. Whenever I hover on it, like whenever I hover on it gets pressed. Okay, if you can see, it gets pressed. It feels like this is a click animation. Okay, that I'm clicking on this button. You can see this is moving, right? Here as well, the image is kind of animated. And for those of like you guys who attended the first hackathon, this is the design that we gave you. Okay, there was some tweaks done to the design and we gave you this design. So similarly, we have these things here and here. So now listen to this task carefully. If I click on the sign up button, I see this form. Okay, I want you guys to create this form. Okay, this form. So currently I'm gonna take a screenshot. Okay, I can't actually share here a photo, so that's why what you guys do is take a screenshot or go to this URL. So take a look. I'm sharing the URL into the chat. Okay, if you want this URL, you'll need to go again. Okay, and let me as well add it into the description. Okay, it will be added at the very bottom. I'm gonna call it as assignment URL. Okay, guys, check out the description and you will be getting the URL there. I see 13 people are currently live. Guys, do subscribe and like the stream. Okay, so it can reach to more of the audience. Now let's move forward. Okay, those 13 people, please do like and subscribe to the channel. It's gonna support us. Okay. Now that form was an assignment. You guys need to submit the assignment by the next week. Okay, before the next Saturday, and I will be judging you on those, and I will be giving you the marks. Once you get the marks, those marks will be added to the assignment, or let's say to the hackathon that you will be participating in. So if you're participating in, you will be getting more, let's say, higher ranks, and your chances of winning will even get higher. So yeah, coming back to the topic. Okay, like most of the people, when we started the bootcamp, asked me about what about some other topics like machine learning and data science. Currently we won't be starting them since we are focused on just the web development part, but we are gonna start them really soon. So we will be starting a series on C. Okay, we will be teaching you C language, and after C is done, okay, those will be recorded sessions. After C language is done, we will be starting with Java. Okay, so after C and Java are done, we will be mostly starting with the advanced part of web development. And after that, what we'll be doing is we'll go with Python, machine learning, data science, and all that stuff. But if you like don't want to wait for so long, okay, you can check out Ineuron. Okay, so Ineuron is basically providing you or like sponsoring this event, not sponsoring, like organizing this, uh, let's say, development program. And on their website they have like tons of courses. The students currently work in these companies. I don't know, due to the internet connection the logos aren't loading, but yeah, they have like really good the students have got really good packages like 10 lakh, 12 lakh, 15 lakh as a freshers. Okay, and they have different kinds of courses. They have this full stack data science bootcamp which is currently live, and it's like it's a job guarantee program. So they will teach you from scratch, and they will as well as give you the job. Okay, they will as well as help you in getting the job, and if you don't get the job, you will be refunded. Okay, data science, machine learning, all these topics are currently in a hype. Okay, and this like there's a lot of demand and there's a lot of less supply, so that's why the salaries of these engineers are like at the have reached the maximum capacity. So yeah, do check them out. And if you want to support the channel, if you want to buy the courses, do use the link in the description. Okay, there are coupon codes, and you will be getting some like discount on the courses. Now after that, they even have this affordable courses as well. Check the description for like the courses links, and it will indirectly help the channel as well. Okay, so after this, let's get back. Okay, now we have almost completed the form. Now one more thing is left to how do we change the background of this input field. So there is nothing different to change the background of this input field. What you guys can do, you can give it a class, but for now I'm directly selecting the input tag. So I'm selecting the input tag, and I'm gonna give background color of aqua. Okay, see, I have gotten the background color of aqua. I can remove the border as well, so I can say border to be none. Okay, and there won't be any border as well. See, this is the thing. And after that, okay, this was just a demo so that you will be you can have some help in the assignment. The assignment is basically to make this form, okay, and share it before next Saturday. So that was about the assignment, and that was about the form. Now let's move to the further topic, which is okay, so we have the margin, we have covered the padding. Let me check in the curriculum what else is left. Mhm. So we are currently in the phase 2 where we are like learning about CSS. Then after this we'll be let's say moving towards some different topic. Okay, after CSS we'll move through some advanced CSS, and then we'll go through JavaScript. So stay tuned for JavaScript. It's gonna be a really fun ride when we'll be learning JavaScript. So in the CSS, the next thing we'll be learning is let's say how to make a nav bar. Okay, so nav bar basically means a navigation bar. So let me show you what actually means. Let me show you what an Ava basically looks like. Okay, so let's go to this website, the form your website I showed you. Let's go to the actual URL. Yeah, now check it out. This is an Ava. This thing you can see is known as an Ava, or let's say a navigation bar. Even if you go on YouTube, let's go to YouTube. Okay, and see currently we have like 10 people watching to us. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. Okay, here the thing here you can see this is an Ava, or let's say this is a sidebar. So what we'll be doing for now is we'll be learning how to create this Ava. So whenever you're working in HTML, okay, the things go like one below the other. So to create an Ava, the basic format that we follow is we create a bunch of LIs, okay, list items, or let's say unordered list, and then we will put them into an Ava. So let me show you. Let me comment it out. Okay, let's comment out this. What's happening here? Okay, let's comment out this as well, and even the buttons. Okay, now moving forward, let me show you how to create an Ava. To create the Ava, I will just use a new index file, or let's say HTML file, and call it nav.html. Okay, so in this nav.html, okay, I will have the boilerplate put, and here what we'll be doing is we'll be using a different file for our CSS. Okay, a different file for CSS, which will be basics.css. Okay, this file will be used. Now, to import the styles of our CSS file into our HTML, we need to use a tag which is known as link tag. Okay, it will link it says the relation to the style sheet, and it says the references. Now we need to specify the path for our CSS file. To do that, we need to say dot / and we need to say basic.css. Okay, is this thing clear, guys? Send me in the chat. Okay, are you understanding this? If you're understanding, then send a heart or send some emoji in the chat. Yeah, and let me have a poll as well. And as well as, guys, give your attendance right now. The fourth round of attendance is going on. Share your attendance right now. We'll register you as attended. So currently 11 people are watching. Do like this stream and subscribe to the channel. It's gonna help us to reach more audience, and it's gonna help you guys as well to get more of the content, okay, more of the quality content which you don't, like, most probably don't get in your colleges. Okay, now yeah, okay, I would like to have a poll right now. Let's okay, I'm putting in this poll, no offense. Okay, so what do you prefer? Okay, I have asked a poll here, so do answer it. Yeah, let's have some fun. Okay, we have studied for so long. We will be continuing the class. The lecture isn't over yet. The live class isn't over yet. There's some time to it. Okay, there's like half hour. Okay, let's see. What do you prefer, guys? Do you prefer just for a channel, or binge watching Netflix, or you prefer your college? Let's see. And guys, as well as, I would like to know what we can do to, like, what we can improve, or what we can do so that you guys can interact with us more. Okay, so that you guys can, like, have more interactivity in the live classes. So can you tell, like, can you give any suggestions that will help us to connect with you better? Okay, that will help us to reach out to more audience as well. Okay, since this classes are absolutely for free, and we are giving out the certificates as well, that too, those are industry accredited certificates. So yeah, please type in the chat box that what do you prefer, like how you want to be, how you want us to change. Okay, what are the suggestions we would like to know. Feel free to use the chat box, feel free to use the let's say any language, Hindi, English, Marathi, it's fine. Okay, do let us know. Let me have the poll as well. Okay, guys, please paste in the chat box the suggestions that you would like to give us to improve and make the classes more interactive, more fun. Okay, feel free to type in here, no grudges. Okay, we are not your college teachers who are gonna reduce your marks if you like comment anything bad about us. Yeah, you will be given the certificates, don't worry. Mhm. Okay, now yeah, let's get back to the navigation bar. To create a navigation bar such like that, okay, so by default we'll be using a UL. So UL basically stands for unordered list that we studied into our HTML section. If you guys don't remember this UL, you can check out the HTML section as well. Okay, HTML live class recordings. We have taught you what a UL is, what an LI is, and everything. So we'll have an UL and we'll have a bunch of LIs. Now with Embed, there is a like brilliant shortcut. You don't have to write everything multiple times. You don't have to copy paste. There is a shortcut where you can have multiple tags. So you can say LI times let's say 3. Okay, and I have now 3 LIs. Here I can say first is home, then as usual, then second is about us. Okay, and then third is contact. Let's see how this output looks like. Okay, we have don't forget that we have linked our basics.css with the style sheet here, which is into a different file, which is the CSS. Yeah, and we are using it into our HTML. We are importing it into our HTML. Okay, now let's open it using LiveServer again. Let me bring it here. So this right point. Yeah, so this doesn't look like a navbar, right? This looks like more of a list. Now to like transition this from uh, let's say list to an navbar, we need to use few things here. Since I told you that the HTML elements are uh HTML elements go one below the other. To avoid this behavior of the HTML elements, there is a property known as flex into CSS. And guys, pay attention here. This is like a really important property. Okay, you will be using it like 60% of the time. Okay, whenever you are using HTML and CSS. Okay, I use it like 95% of the time. Whenever I'm coding, I don't go to other options. I use this flex property. So pay attention of how we are doing it. Now, before moving forward, let's have a nav tag as well. So it will help in our SEO. So SEO basically stands for search engine optimization. So now let's cancel this and paste it here. Now take a look. I'm gonna have an H6, okay, and where I'm gonna say a logo. So I'm just gonna have my initials, that is SF, okay, and these are my initials. Let's see how it's looking. So my initials are here. The navbar is on the right side. To make this into one line, okay, into let's say one row, I guess we call it column. Yeah, to make them horizontal. So to make them horizontal, let's select the nav, go to style.css. First clear out all of the things. So let's clear out padding. So padding will give it 0. Then margin we will give it 0. Okay, so we are resetting the defaults of the browsers. Now next thing is to select the nav. Let's select the nav. Okay, guys, make sure that you're sending the attendance right now. Share your roll numbers in the chat again. Okay, this is the fifth round of attendance. Since we don't have Hers today to monitor your chats, that's why you need to share the like you need to share your attendance like this many times. But don't worry, this is just one time process. Yeah. And if anyone is missing Harsh, please type in the chat box. We miss you, Harsh, and he will be back soon. Okay. So after selecting the navbar, the first thing is we need to say display and we need to say flex. Okay, so this display is the property. Oh, sorry, flex is the property. And what's happened here is, take a look. This thing has gone from like in the one corner, and they are in the one line now. Now to make them at the one corner at the here, and let's say the navbar at the right side and the logo at the left side, we need to say justify content. So it will justify our content, and there are multiple options here. So either you can say space between. Okay, space between will basically take your logo at the extreme left and your, let's say, allies and ULs at the extreme right. Now let's see, here's your logo and here's your UL. Now the next thing is to make this list. Where's the list? Yeah, to make this list into horizontal way. Now to make this list into a horizontal way, you need to select an UL. Okay, you need to make the bracket, and here also you need to say display flex. Okay, now this allies will become into a list, or let's say into an horizontal way. See, we are into an horizontal way now. Now to change the, see, there are the bullet points as well, right? To remove the bullet points, we need to select a list. Okay, you need to select all the allies, and you need to say list style to be none. Okay, so that means we don't want any stylings to our allies. And let's go here and see, there is no this style here currently. After that, okay, after doing this, we need to have some space in between, right? In between those things. So we can say margin, right, of 30 pixels. So some bit bigger margin. Let's see how our thing is looking. So this is our navbar that's come into picture. Okay, this is the right side, and on the left side we have the logo. Let's make this logo a bit bigger. Let's go back to the VS Code. Okay, and let's select the H6. Okay, H6, and I'm gonna make it as, let's say, 30 pixels, font size of 30 pixels. Okay, after this, now check it. See, there's this logo, there's the navbar. Let's have some spacing. So to have the spacings, I'm gonna say align items. Okay, to align them vertically to the center, I'm gonna say align item center. So justify content will align the items horizontally, so it will take out the horizontal alignment, and align items basically will take the vertical alignment. Yeah, now let's see how this looks again. So now they are in the center of each other. Now let's give them some margin and finish this thing off. Margin. Okay, let's give margin left of 20 pixels, or let's do margin and use the shortcut. So margin top and bottom of 10 pixels and left and right of 20 pixels. Let's check it out how this looks. Okay, and to make it look a bit good, let's give it a background color as well. So let's make it a bit of good looking. So background color, and I'm gonna say black. And guys, you know the cool part about VS Code is you can change the color here as well. So I can just hover on this thing, okay, and I get an option for changing the color. So I'm just gonna make it a bit gray, okay, kind of grayish, and check out, this is the thing. So since we have given this margin, instead of this margin, if we give here padding, now take a look, guys. This thing has completely taken over our page. Now what I will do to make our text visible is do color, and I'll make it as white. Now let's see, is it looking good, guys? Do you get how we create a navbar? Did you get it, how we create a navbar using HTML and CSS? Type in the chat, guys. If you understood, type in the chat yes. If there are some doubts, you can ask. Okay, if you didn't understand the topic, please type the name of the topic into the chat box. Okay, we'll re-explain you again. I'm sorry, but this will be your sixth round of attendance. Please share your attendance. Okay, we need to confirm that you guys are live and currently watching here. Yeah, let's see. Let's go to YouTube and check how many people are watching. Okay, so 8 people are currently watching you. Let me switch the account. Let's go to this one. Okay, and if you just search for, let's say, just coded channel, and we have ranked our channel at the #1 spot. You can see we have 122 subscribers, guys. Thanks for that. Okay, it was through all your support. If you go to this live stream, okay, if you go to this live stream, now take a look. Okay, it's really easy. You just have to hit the like button and as well as the subscribe button as well. Okay, and if you want, you can please turn on the notification, so that means whenever we'll go live or we'll upload a video, you get the notification first, and you can submit the assignment a bit faster as well. Yeah, as well as the channel is growing up like quite faster, and we are going to start uploading more content regularly. Okay, we are starting with the C series. So guys, one question I would like to ask. See, we are continuing with the like full stack web development bootcamp, where we'll be teaching you front end, back end, and all this stuff. But other than this, what all subjects that you want us to like post a video regarding? What are the topics that you would like to learn from our side? Okay, that you want to learn from our side. It may be a language, it may be your theoretical subject that is taught in the college. It may be, let's say, something like a tech talk or something like that. Share it in the chat box, like what you want here. Okay, guys. Because upcoming industry needs. Okay, Jinkyo, I'm gonna note it down. Okay, so upcoming industry needs. Jinkyo wants. Mhm. We will have a guest, machine learning and data science. Yeah, Satvik, I know you are like studying currently that. hmm We'll have you as a guest, Satvik. Don't worry. But yeah, I forgot to tell you this. We are bringing lots of new, let's say, guests who are working in different companies to the channel from November onwards. Okay, from November onwards, you will be getting the live streams directly from them. Yeah, so they will be teaching you everything. They are the like industry experts, you can call them, or let's say they are all of our age as well, and they are doing really great in the industry. We are bringing those people here. Okay, any other topic, guys? Any other language or any other theoretical subject that you want us to teach? Okay, except maths and science. Guys, I hate maths and science, so please don't ask for maths and science, please. And even there's a subject known as CGR, that's computer graphics. Even I don't like it. So if you don't like the subjects, hit a like to the video so that more people know. Mhm. So this was about the creation of Nava, and there is one more thing I would like to tell you. So we have today we studied about this nav. We created a form first. We studied about how we type styles into a single file. Then we created a new file and we typed the styles. Yeah, and there is the separate file. So now I guess there is nothing much left to like teach. So we have like completed our day successfully, the live session successfully. If you have any doubts, please let me know in the chat, and do share your attendance right now. This is the last round of attendance and I'm gonna end the stream right now. So the class is currently officially ended. If you want to stay and want to chit chat, you can. Yeah, I'm here. Okay. Just share your attendance and you can leave if you want, or you can have some chat with me. Okay, Shravan has given his attendance. Make it faster, guys. You just have 4 minutes. Okay, and then I will end the stream. Guys, one more thing before you leave. One more thing. Uh, can you give some suggestions about our thumbnails? Okay. So for example, I open the YouTube here. Okay, I open a YouTube channel. and see, you can see this is the thumbnail of the channel. For example, let me just go for the live thumbnail. See, this is the thumbnail for the live stream that we are currently doing. Can you suggest some changes of this thumbnail? It would be it would really help us if you suggest some thumbnails that will like some good suggestions or something that you would like to see, like the changes and stuff. Please let us know. See, there are like a lot of thumbnails here, kind of. Yeah. Guys, share your attendance. I will be closing the stream in let's say 5 minutes. Share your attendance. Prem has shared. Atharva has shared. Shravan has shared. Only I can see only 3, 4, 5 people have shared the attendance. Ajinkya, are you there? Please share your attendance. Ajinkya is left. Then Sushti is left. Again, let's see. Shravani is left. Share your attendance, guys, and we'll end the chat here. I'm putting the poll right now. Okay, and as Ajinkya said, we will have some guest lectures as well for the upcoming industry trends. Let's have the 14th like as well. Currently, we have 13 likes. Okay, guys, share your attendance faster. Srishti, that's not fair. You joined late. I'll have to take a look at Srishti, like if she is attending seriously or she just. Okay, Shravani, you as well. I'm not sure if you guys are gonna get the certificate. I'm not really sure because the attendance is being taken by someone else today. We don't have Harsh here to make sure. So whatever the person feels like, he will be giving the attendance. Yeah, ending the poll. Yeah, guys, bye bye. Ending the stream right now. Have a great day. Okay, hope you enjoyed the session and see you tomorrow at same timing 1:30 p.m. And if you haven't registered, do register because that's an important step. Okay, bye bye. Have a great day. Yeah, bye bye. Thank you for watching. Even Kunal is not there today. I just saw. Okay, bye bye. Bye guys. You can leave the stream and so that I can end it.